Welcome to today's episode. This is Biscuits and Gravy. Um, so, if you're watching and you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to notify all your friends hit the bell to notify you of new videos and share with all your friends if you enjoy my videos. This will motivate me to do more. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and do some prep work. Now I'm also making sausage as well with it. And I'm going to put the sausage in with the gravy to, make more meat. This is green beans. Um, so, and I'm also making hash browns. This is Craven hash browns potatoes. My family is really obsessed with these. So let's go ahead and get started. Sorry guys, excuse the oven, or the stove I should say, it's a little dirty. But we're gonna go ahead and get a pan out and go ahead. So first I'm gonna get the pan out, and then I'm going to heat up the stove. Now we use a gas and then I'm going to get the cookie sheet out next, and I am going to go ahead and put the biscuits on the sheet. So you guys will see the cooking sheet for just a minute. So this is a fairly quick and easy meal to make and it's a very good meal if you would like to make a Mother's Day brunch or Father's Day brunch. So I'm going to take out the Grand's biscuits and I'm going to pop them. And then I'm going to open them. So I'm going to open the Grand's biscuits and I'm going to pop them. As you can see, I was having a little bit of trouble opening the biscuits, but I eventually got them open. And then I'm going to go ahead and put all the biscuits on. And then right after I put the biscuits on the cookie sheet, I'm going to preheat the oven. And I will show you what temperature I preheat the oven. So I'm still trying to open the biscuits. Oh, look at that. I finally got them open. So let's go ahead and put the biscuits on the cookie sheet now. And then we are going to see how they're in a row. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the biscuits on the cookie sheet. And then I spread them out because I don't want the biscuits to be baked together. So I'm going to go ahead and spread out the biscuits and put them on the cookie sheet. Sorry, you guys. I was adjusting the camera. And then, so now we're putting the biscuits on the cookie sheet, as you can see. And then right after that, we're going to go ahead and get the hash browns going and get the sausage going to go ahead and cook and put in the gravy. So right now we're putting the biscuits on the pardon me, you guys. And then so after I get the biscuits put on the cookie sheet, then we're going to go ahead and preheat the oven. But first I like to clean up the trash all around me. I like to clean up as I go, so that way I don't have as many dishes and stuff to do. So, yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. And then after we preheat the oven to 375 degrees, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the biscuits in the oven. So then after we put the biscuits in the oven and let those bake, now we're going to go ahead and prep the sausage. So now what I like to do is I like to cut the sausage in half and put one half in the freezer and cook the other half. So I'm taking the knife and I'm cutting the sausage in half. And then after I cut the sausage in half, I put one half of the sausage in the oven on the stove, and I put the other half of the sausage in the freezer. So first we're gonna cook one half of the sausage, and I'm using Jimmy Dean's maple sausage. So right after I put the one half of the sausage on the stove, then I'm going to go ahead and put the other half of the sausage in the freezer. So sorry, you guys, for seeing the other half of the sausage for just a minute. So now what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and I'm putting the other half of the sausage aside, and I'm making a cup of coffee. So, because I can't thrive without at least 2 to 3 cups of coffee. I don't know about anyone else, but I need my coffee. So right now, right here, I am making a cup of coffee. And I'm using 0 sugar Italian milk. And as I'm doing this, you guys, I'm actually eating chicken and hot pies right now. So, by Banquet. So as you can see here, but anyways, as you can see here, I'm making my cup of coffee. And then right after my cup of coffee, I go ahead and I continue cooking. So let's go ahead and let's pull up a cup of coffee and let's enjoy cooking. So right here, I'm actually using vegetable oil, great value. And I'm going ahead and I'm actually getting the hash browns. So here, right here, I'm actually getting the stove ready to turn the fire on. But first, I'm actually moving the camera over to go ahead and show you exactly what I'm doing. And then what I'm doing after that is I'm going to find a cup, excuse me, a cup to go ahead and lather the pan with cooking oil. Now the cooking oil helps make sure that the hash browns do not stick to the pan. So I'm lathering the pan with cooking oil, as you can see here. Um, and then we're going to go ahead and continue. And I'm actually putting a little more cooking oil on the pan for good measure. And then afterwards, I am going ahead and I am opening the hash browns and getting the hash browns out and pouring them on the pan. Now, normally I only use half a bag of hash browns because I like to save the other half. So we're going ahead and pouring the hash browns all over the pan. And then what I like to do after I pour right after I pour one half of the hash browns onto the pan, is I like to start the fire and get the hash browns cooking. And then right after the hash browns have been start cooking, I go ahead and I put away the other half of the hash browns. I put a rubber band around the bag. I put it in the baggie, and I put it in the freezer. Now this helps prevent freezer burn. So right here, I'm actually going ahead and I'm stirring the hash browns really good, making sure that everything's evenly cooking. So right after this, right here, I'm actually breaking down the hash browns and I'm making sure everything is even. Now, the hash browns, I like to make sure that they're nice and brown, like nice and slightly brown. So that way they're slightly crispy, but they're slightly digestible. So after we got the hash browns going and started, um, let's go ahead and let's start the gravy. So now right here, we're actually getting the gravy started. I'm putting the gravy in a small pan. And then right after I stick the gravy in the small pan, what I'm doing here is, you'll never believe this, but my husband taught me this trick actually. After the gravy, putting the gravy in the pan, you actually put a little bit of flour in the gravy for thickness. Putting a little bit of flour in the gravy actually makes it a little bit thicker. And I'm also putting in some milk as well. So I put the milk in first, and then right after I put the milk in, I'm actually putting in the flour. So that way the gravy gets a little thick. Now I'm not putting so much flour in it that the gravy gets all doughy and tastes all floury. So I'm putting in a slight little bit of flour right here. So right now I'm adjusting the camera and make sure you guys can fully see what I'm doing here. So right after I stir the gravy, I'm stirring the gravy right here to make sure the gravy gets a little creamy. So right after the gravy, what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and I'm grabbing the flour. And I only use a little bit of flour because you don't want to use too much flour and have the gravy get all floury and disgusting. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually letting the gravy boil a little bit, and I'm actually getting some flour out, and then I am going ahead and I'm getting the flour and getting the flour pressed and putting it like so. And then right after that, I stir the flour. And I'm using Great Value all-purpose flour. So then after the flour, I'm going ahead and I'm stirring it in the gravy. You guys might think it's weird, but it makes the gravy a little bit. Hang on one second, you guys. Alright, so now that I'm stirring the gravy and making sure the gravy is super thick, now what I'm doing is I'm making sure the gravy, like the flour, is perfectly blended in the gravy. That way you don't waste the flour in the gravy. So now that I've got the stirring all done, sort of, I guess I'm still stirring. Yeah, you gotta stir the gravy extremely good when you put flour in it. That way it's, nice and thick and the gravy doesn't taste like flour. So now after the gravy is all nice and stirred, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. And while the gravy is boiling for a minute, tell me what your favorite food is down in the comments that you would like to eat for breakfast, that you'd like to eat for breakfast. So now what I'm doing here is I'm putting water in the gravy, just so that way it gets slightly creamy, but not so creamy. You know what I mean? So now I'm stirring it again. And I'm stirring it extremely good. That way but I'm not stirring it so hard that the gravy comes out of the pan. So now we're just stirring the gravy, like so. So after we've stirred the gravy, we're going to go ahead and check on the hash browns. Sorry guys, I'm eating dinner. So we're going to check on the hash browns, make sure they're get nice and brown and nice and crispy. So the hash browns, as you can clearly see, are not crispy yet, like slightly crispy. My family likes their hash browns slightly crispy because, everybody likes a little crunch. But I also like to make the potatoes where they're digestible. So right after I go ahead and I do that, what I'm doing here is I'm actually getting a pan out, and I'm going ahead and turning on the fire and I'm getting the sausage ready, sausage cooked. So now we're putting the sausage in the pan and we're gonna go ahead and um, we're gonna go ahead and get the sausage simmer. By now my kitchen is starting to smell super good at this point, and my mother-in-law was starting to get like kind of impatient because but my husband is the same way. When they get hungry, they get hungry. And they're like, food? Breakfast? But anyway, so first we're going ahead and we're letting the sausage simmer and cook. But I'm also grounding up the sausage here. That way the sausage gets nice and small. And then right after the sausage gets nice and small, we let that cook. We let the sausage go ahead and cook and get brown. Sorry, you guys. This is my very first voiceover. This is very new. So, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and let the sausage get completely. We're gonna let the sausage get brown. Now I'm grounding up the sausage and flipping it over. That way the sausage is digestible and the sausage pieces are not like super thick, so to speak. Because in my household we like to keep everything super digestible. That way nothing gets stuck in between. We're gonna go ahead and let that sausage cook and get brown, and then right after we let the sausage brown and cook all the way, we're putting the sausage in the gravy. So while the sausage cooking is, I don't know about you guys being coffee addicts, but I'm a total coffee addict. I love coffee. So, anyways, let's go ahead and let that sausage cook, and let's continue watching as I let that cook. But I also rounded it up a lot more, so that way. That way there's no pink. You want to make sure there's no pink because yeah, so. As you can see here, now I'm checking on the hash browns. And then after I let the hash browns cook, well, after I stirred the hash browns and made sure they're not sticking to the pan. Hash browns will stick to the pan, no, irregardless. So, but I'm making sure the hash browns are not sticking. So now I'm turning the fire down because we don't want our good old-fashioned smoke alarm to go off. Yeah, you guys, our smoke alarm goes off even when I'm making toast. It's really annoying. So anyways, I'm grounding up the sausage. I'm stirring the gravy. So sorry, you guys. I'm stirring the gravy. And then right after that, I'm going ahead and I'm going to show you guys the result so far. Doesn't that look beautiful? Sorry, you guys. I had to pause this voiceover for a brief moment because my mother-in-law is done. Enough about that. So now the hash browns, I'm stirring the hash browns once again. And as you can see, I went to the gravy, and you see how thick the gravy is? Doesn't that look beautiful? Doesn't that look neat? And now I poured the sausage in the gravy. And my husband actually gave me this idea, you guys, to put more sausage in the gravy. Because I don't know if you buy the Campbell's, like, country gravy in a can, but that country gravy really doesn't come with very much, like very many sauces. So that's why we um, buy extra sauces. So there's the biscuits and gravy with hash browns, you guys. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share with all your friends. Thanks for watching.